EV Comply, simplifying your charge point installations.
Hey you, it's a brand new month and England might just be bringing it home, and on top of that I've got your latest EV roundup brought to you directly from EV Comply. Gridserve will replace the entire network of old Ecotricity EV chargers by September as part of its new electric highway. The company, which acquired Ecotricity and its network of motorway service station EV chargers in June, says it has already replaced more than 80 legacy units. A new programme to launch 50 electric hubs with up to 12 350 kilowatt chargers has also been announced. It will offer 300 rapid chargers across 85% of the UK's motorway service stations. Toddington Harper, CEO of Gridserve, said, "We're networking at a phenomenal pace to roll out cutting-edge charging infrastructure and will continue to move heaven on earth to install new chargers en masse in as many locations as we can and as quickly as possible." Some great news for the UK now. Nissan Motor Co, based in Sunderland, which exports 70% of its vehicles to the European Union, has chose Britain to supercharge its European electric future. They decided this on Thursday, pledging a £1.4 billion investment with its Chinese partner to build a giant battery plant that will power 100,000 vehicles a year, including a new crossover model. Nissan is backing for the 9 gigawatt-hour plant as a rejuvenation of Britain's automotive industry, which has for 5 years grappled with the fear that Brexit could cut off the rest of the European market. Ashwani Gupta, Nissan's chief operating officer, said this project is the demonstration of the potential of the British car industry. Prime Minister Boris Johnson said Nissan's move was a major vote of confidence in the UK and our highly skilled workers in the North East. The £1 billion investment by Nissan and its Chinese partner Envision AESC and local governments in North East England will create 6,200 jobs at the Sunderland plant and in the British supply chains. Now, Renault have got a little bit saucy. They have confirmed that they're developing a second B-segment EV, currently named the Forever. We like that. Now, the brand has revealed the first details and a teaser image, of the front end of the new car, showing a rectangular grille and headlights, complete with the Renault's new badge front and centre. It's designed to invoke the classic Renault 4, one of the brand's most iconic models, and as we know, retro is very fashionable right now. COVID won't stop the Olympics, nor is it going to stop the EV industry. Now, Toyota's autonomous EV transportation for the athletes has been self-driving EV cars. Now, with under 1 month to go until the Tokyo Olympics and the Paralympics begin, main sponsor Toyota has intensified the final practice runs of its e-pallet electric autonomous vehicles. Now, that is a mouthful. Now, they're going to ferry the athletes and staff from the Olympic Village to venues and back again. And so far, everything is running smooth and driverless. So whilst the auto industry is still working on perfecting self-driving cars, and we hope the test at the Olympics goes well, Canadian outfit Daymak has just announced it's building the world's first automobile that can mine cryptocurrency. So bear with me on this one. I know you're probably a little lost. Now, the new light electric vehicle, dubbed the Spiritus, will be equipped with the high-tech mining hardware and blockchain technology that will allow it to mine all kinds of crypto, from Bitcoin to Dogecoin, whilst it's charging. Now, for those unversed in crypto lingo, mining is a way of earning cryptocurrencies by solving cryptographic equations and algorithms through computers. You can mine via any computer, including the one on board this pioneering ride. So we thought EV was advanced. It doesn't get more advanced than that, does it? Belfast-based energy tech company Everrun has launched a new business division offering electric vehicle charging solutions to EV owners and businesses across the north, and it has set a first-year target of completing 500 installations for domestic and commercial customers after its engineering team was accredited by the government's OZEV scheme. Ed Miliband has backed the SMMT's call for the UK government to boost its support. Speaking at the annual summit, the Labour MP argued that the government must supplement its bold emissions-reducing ambitions with financial aid packages for consumers, manufacturers and charging networks. The $400 million allocated by the government to support battery production is a start, but not enough, according to Miliband. The government should commit to up to $1.5 billion, he argued, to support the construction of 3 new factories by 2025. He said, "That's an investment in our future." The UK government have also been busy as they've just partnered with disability charity to set standards for the electric vehicle charge points. Accessibility standards to be developed for EV charge points across the UK are a must, allowing disabled drivers to easily identify which models are suitable for their needs. To develop accessibility standards for EV charge points across the UK is the aim. Now, these standards will provide the industry with guidance and drivers with a new clear definition of fully accessible, partially accessible and not accessible public EV charge points. This could range from an adequate space between bollards, charging units being of a height suitable for wheelchair users, and the size of parking bays and the curb height. Apparently, Porsche AG is planning a global recall of its Taycan electric car to fix a software issue that can cause a sudden loss of power. The move follows reports of cars switching to emergency mode in the US. That prompted an investigation by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration in May. The EV boom is affecting all areas of manufacturing. The growing EV and hybrid hype is causing a tyre demand. Yep, you heard me, even down to tyres. So Bridgestone is investing in Brazil £101.7 million. The investment is going towards modernising the plant and increasing production capacity by more than 20% to keep up with the EV and hybrid demand. The project will begin by the fourth quarter of 2021. As we know, the EV rollout is global and the Netherlands have been busy. They've licensed the first EV smart charging company to provide grid services. The New Motion EV charging businesses owned by Anglo-Dutch energy giant Shell has become the first entity to obtain a license to provide grid balancing services in the Netherlands. Dutch grid company Tenet has licensed New Motion to provide megawatt-scale balancing services to maintain grid frequency by varying the rate at which the EVs are charged. But sadly, it's not all great news in the EV global rollout. Electric vehicle owners with cars registered in Victoria, Australia, have been instructed by the state's road authority to send in a photo of their odometer readings from July the 1st, so as of yesterday, to comply with the new electric vehicle road tax that takes effect from the start of the new financial year, and people aren't very happy about it. EV owners in Victoria will be taxed 2.5 cents per kilometre, meaning an annual bill of $375 for cars that travel around 15,000 kms a year, but around $750 a year for electric cars that travel double that. Any EV owner who does not comply with the request risks having the car registration cancelled or suspended, or possibly something else. Any driver that fails to deliver the photo of the odometer readings won't be able to duck the charges because they will be billed according to the car's average daily use once that is established, so they're going to be charged either way. One owner who really wasn't happy with this did submit his readings, but had written some very choice language all over his submission application, and you can actually see that via our social media pages. And finally, if you're very arty, this one is for you. Tesla's Elon Musk wants Berlin's Gigafactory covered in graffiti. Tesla made the announcement recently on Twitter saying if you want to help cover Giga Berlin in awesome graffiti art, then send us your work at gigaberlinart@tesla.com, and you can still send your artwork in if you think it's for you. So that is your latest EV roundup in a nutshell. We do hope at the weekend England managed to bring it home, and we hope that you have a top weekend whatever you're doing. From everybody here at EV Comply, don't get too drunk and we'll catch you next week.